good day, my fellow travelers and backpackerinos. Welcome to another episode of On the Road at the Speed of Mike. In this episode, we're going to be heading down south into Virginia. And once you head into Virginia, you're actually in the real deal South, if you didn't know that. While Maryland was a slave state and kind of wanted to be part of the Confederacy, I think, they were actually neutral in the war because they're just weak and they have no spine. There, I said it. Just kidding, sort of. But one of the things you might notice in Virginia that makes it a definite southern state is Confederate war statues. That's not controversial, is it?
Richmond really surprised me. I didn't know a lot about the city before coming. It's a smaller city, it doesn't have an overwhelming feel to it, has some really cool parks, and it's chock full of character and history that make Richmond what it is today. There's history all over the city, but being that Richmond is Virginia's state capital and was the capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War, it gives it an added layer of fame or controversy, epitomized best on Monument Avenue. Among several statues relating to the Confederacy, like monuments to Jefferson Davis and Jeb Stewart, the oldest, at 100 years old, is of Robert E. Lee, commanding general of the Confederate forces during the Civil War. Today, some say this and other monuments represent white supremacy and should be taken down. I don't want to get too into this because this isn't going to be the last Civil War-related item we'll be encountering. Far from it, actually, but monuments like this are actually considered veterans' memorials, and Virginia's state law prohibits their alteration or removal. So minus an angry mob, the General Lee will be sitting on its high horse for the foreseeable future. On this particular spot, my 2 cents are that the statues look great and they shouldn't be removed. Monument Avenue is considered one of the top 10 streets in America. This is as much for the history and architecture of its varied manufactured row homes that accent its length and roundabouts, and it really is a very aesthetically pleasing place. And those statues are certainly part of that aesthetic appeal. And the very controversy they create is interesting in itself, for me personally at least, as it's not only a reason to explore the Civil War, but the history of why these monuments were built in the first place, and the story of how the city and this area in particular grew around them. South of Monument Drive and hugging the James River is a Victorian estate turned city park, Maymont Park. I thought this place was gorgeous and I really liked it. The park includes Maymont Mansion, its surrounding buildings and historic items, and an arboretum with a Japanese and Italian garden. Not only is there a nature center and barnyard animals at the children's farm, but local wild fauna also call the park home. All of this was gifted to the city by James H. Dooley, a local lawyer, philanthropist, and Civil War veteran, upon his death. Down the James River is the heart of downtown Richmond. A series of bridges and overpasses crisscross a rail bridge and walking path that straddle the river's edge. And it's a nice spot to get a scenic view of the river. Also on its banks is the American Civil War Museum and Tredegar Iron Works. This is a great way to catch up on the blue versus gray battles as well as the city's role in the country's industrialization. The remnants of the site's steelworks are pretty incredible. There isn't actually a whole lot left to Richmond pre-Civil War, as the city was burned down by the Confederates, but the White House of the Confederacy was captured completely intact, along with the state capitol building, though renovated, is also in this area as well. While things relating to the Civil War seem to be the city's biggest markers, the state capitol has a memorial to one of Virginia's, if not the nation's, most famous icons, George Washington. Other prominent sons of Virginia are featured on the grounds as well, like Founding Father Thomas Jefferson, Stonewall Jackson, and and adopted, in his case, Edgar Allen Poe, whose house turned museum is also a short walk from the capital. While the city has had a history of violent crime with a murder rate that's nearly claimed the national record at points, which is something you probably shouldn't completely ignore when visiting new places, it's decreased dramatically from its highs and at least doesn't show in the places I mentioned. Overall, I really like this place.
Well, I hope you enjoyed Richmond, Virginia. I thought it was a very lovely city. Up next, we're going to head south to North Carolina.